Hey y'all, just got out of the shower. In a few hours I'm going to go and meet a friend of mine. So while I had some time to spare, I was going to unbox something that I'm really excited in sharing with you. And in talking about a few hours to spare, this friend of mine that I'm going out, I'm friends with her mom, and I've been friends with her for a couple years now. She texted me a couple days ago, wanted to know if I wanted to go out and grab a bite to eat with her. And I said, sure. And the reason why is because a lot of times with young adults that are in their 20s, you want to make that time for them. That's an opportunity that God is allowing to you to pour into their heart and plant seeds and let them grow. They might not fruit around you. They might fruit years and years later, but it's worth the investment. So anytime somebody in their young adulthood asks me for my time, I try to schedule it in. That's very important to me. So next time y'all have somebody ask y'all to grab a bite to eat or just go do something for a few hours, try to make time for them. Now we're going to get to the unboxing. Now, I have not been paid to advertise this. This is just something I've seen for quite some time. Being advertised and talked about and how good they are. And I decided to get one, but I wanted to wait to get one when it was on sale and I had a promo code to use on it. So I got it a little bit cheaper than I would have if I had to pay regular price for it. And so I'm excited to show it to y'all and get into it and show you how it should be put together and how it works. And I'll have to give you updates on it later once things start growing in it to see how things do inside this GreenStalk planter. So let me get the tape off of this. It's been put up for a few months because when I ordered it, it was cold and really couldn't plant anything in it. So now that it's warmer, I can. And you can basically get this in different kind of tiers. You can get it in a 5-tier, 7-tier. I think they have some 8 tiers, different colors. They have this nice avocado green, which I love. Green is one of my favorite colors, if y'all didn't know. And it's very versatile, and you know what you want to plant, what you want to do with it. You can plant all kinds of things in here. You can plant leafy things like lettuces and kales and carrots. You can do tomatoes in it. They even have like garter things that you can put on this if you want to do like tomatoes or green beans, where you can attach them where they won't fall over. I think that's pretty neat. They actually sent me, this is kind of what it looks like when you're growing things in it. I'm going to show you. It's vertical growing planter. That's the GreenStalk planter. And you can just do all kinds of things in it. You can do flowers, you can do vegetables, whatever your heart desires. So this one came with a book. Let me see what this is. Okay. It just gives you kind of a history about the family, how to put your planter together, which you can put in each pocket. That's kind of neat. And they also gave me some soil. And they gave me some mixed lettuce, organic mixed lettuce. That'd be nice. See, worm casting organic fertilizer. Oh, well, that's awesome. So they gave me some fertilizer to go with it too. And then I ordered, you get the planter separate, but if you want to get the little tray that has the wheels where you can move your planter around, that's extra. So I bought that separate. So basically, this is the watering tray which goes on top. And it has these lines here, if you can tell, of how full you want to water. You cannot go all the way up to here. And you just fill it from the top. And what it does basically is you have these little gray reservoirs that go on top of each of your planter tiers. See, it sits on top. And it's got little holes in it that when the water comes down from the top of the tower, it goes through and waters inside your little buckets. And then it's got where you, up here, it tells you where you fill your soil to. This one is a 5-tier. So I'm going to set out all 5 of my tiers, and I'm going to go ahead and put these trays on top. And then, well, I didn't think about it. Before I put the trays on top, I got to put the dirt in it. Now that I got my planter sitting out on the porch, I got my son, Jess, he's bringing these bags out for me. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be planting in my GreenStalk planter. So if y'all been following along with me, I've got a bed down there, my first bed. I call it bed number 1. For some reason, I guess with the weather being so cool and the soil not being hot enough, a lot of my stuff just didn't do so great in that bed. And a few days ago, I ended up just scratching the whole bed and replanting in it. I left a little bit of the carrots in there just to see what they would do. But I sowed some more lettuce, and I sowed some onions. Since my onions didn't do too well in my circle bed, I sowed some more from seed in my number 1 bed to see what they would do there. And I put some kohlrabi and some radishes in my 2nd bed. So this right here, this GreenStalk planter, I'm going to be planting just a little bit of a variety of different things. Some of these seed packets are new, some of them are kind of old. Never throw out your seed packets though, because just because it has the expiration date on them doesn't necessarily mean the seed's not any good, it's not viable. If you have an older packet, throw in 2 or 3 seeds just in case one doesn't come up, at least another one will. But I've got a few things that I'm going to be putting in it. I'm going to do some parsley. This is the moss curled kind. I think this is pretty good tasting. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to do a broadleaf sage, even though I've got some sage back in my herb garden back in the back of the house where I do all my herbs at. I got me some sweet Thai basil. And I also, so that's my newer ones. And so these are some that I kind of already had. I got some regular sweet basil. I've got some dill. I've got some sweet marjoram that I'm going to be doing. I got some thyme. I got some oregano, and I've got some cilantro. So I'm going to be planting these in my GreenStalk planter, and we'll see how things turn out. So next step that I got to do, since I've got my planter trays setting out, is I'm going to have to fill them up with soil. So now that I got my planters filled up, I just basically bought some cotton mix soil plus fertilizer that's added into it. I got this at Lowe's. It says feeds up to 9 months, which is not bad at all. And these bags are, let's see, I'm going to tell you how much is in them. They're 30.4 pound bags. And I had bought 5 in all, and actually the 5 here, I was able to do 1, and I've got a little bit left over in this one. So it only actually took 2. So if any of y'all are interested in trying one of these out, 2 bags of the 30.4 pound bags of soil will do. Then you just basically put these little reservoirs on top. I set mine on the table over here. So I'm going to stick these on all of them. These are really good for people that don't have a lot of space to garden in, or they live in apartments, or they rent somewhere where they're not allowed to use the land to have a garden. Container gardens are kind of the way to go. You can do a lot in container gardening. Like I said, you can plant vegetables, flowers in these. You can do your tomatoes in these, your green beans in these. I mean, it's a lot of different things that you can plant in these. It's kind of having like a mini garden on the porch, which is awesome. I just basically wanted to get it to try it out because I thought it was pretty neat and it would give me more space to grow things, even though I do have the land. I'm planning on putting this actually on my porch, since I am doing a lot of herbs and lettuces and stuff in it. Stuff that I'll basically probably will be picking on daily once it comes in, because we eat a lot of salads around here and I use a lot of herbs in cooking. So I plan on keeping this on the porch. So the next step to this is you have the water and reservoirs on these 4. On the top one you won't have it on because you're actually putting this one on the very top. This one you actually put the water into, and it flows down through these planters into these reservoirs to get to these planters. So now that I've got all that set up, push this down, make sure it's in there real good. So basically this goes on the bottom, and you have these little sections on the bottom that have the holes. They sent these wheels that you can just basically hook them in there. They just slide right on in. Very easy to assemble this. Probably the hardest part is probably getting these tiers stacked onto one another, since you got the soil in it. It might be a little heavy to do that, but other than that, very easy setup process. So I got my wheels on, and then it comes with this tube thing, and you have a cap that you can keep the water from flowing out of it. You just cap it off like that, and you can stick it in the bottom right here. And basically what this allows, if you get too much water in your containers, you can just let this cap out and let the water flow through, or you can just, when you water it, you can just leave the cap off and let the excess water come out, just however you want to do it. I'm going to leave mine on there and just kind of play around with it a little bit. So let me see if I can step back here a little further so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm going to pull this tray back here. I'm going to go ahead and set the first tier onto this tray. And it sits in there just perfect, just like that. So now, pick up another tray. Bend with your knees, guys, bend with your knees. And we're going to set it. You want to line it up on top of this one, and it just basically sets down in there. Okay, and then I'm going to grab this other one. It's not too heavy though. I thought it would be a little bit heavier than this, but it's not awful bad. And you just line it up where these little grooves can go down. My tray must not be sitting down in there like I need it to. I might have to take this one back off. I'm no expert at this. This is my first time in this rodeo. I might have a little too much dirt. I need to push that down a little bit maybe. Now let's try it again. Let's see what it does that time. There we go. I just did, that was up to the little tray in the center was up too high. And here is the last, well no, not the last tray. I got one over here. Decided to move y'all so y'all can see the last tier go on top. And there you have it. So you just put your water in here at the top and fill it up to whichever line you need to fill up to. And you plant your stuff inside and you roll around those wheels. I think it's really totally awesome. And it's got a lock on there if you want to lock it in where it won't move around. And you can lock them down. And I'm going to save my worm casting fertilizer for later, since this fertilizer says it can fertilize for 9 months. And what's really cool about these is you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to buy bags of soil every year. No, you don't have to do that. You just basically refurbish it with some fertilizer or some worm castings, so the soil will come back to life, so to speak, and keep on trucking. So that's all you have to do. And yeah, of course, maybe after 3 or 4 years, you might want to dump the soil and put it in your compost or something. But for the most part, you don't have to do that very often. So that's what I thought was really neat about these two. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I know it seemed like it was all over the place, but honestly, I've never had one of these before, and I'm new to it also. So I just wanted to share this experience with y'all as I was putting it together and explain how to do it. And so y'all will have to stay tuned. I'm going to go hop off here and plant in my GreenStalk planter, and hopefully in a couple more months I'll have a vlog up of how it's doing. Y'all have a great day. Hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification button so that you'll know when more videos are coming. And I hope that y'all have a wonderful day.